This next story comes from Chris of South Philly, PA. The year is 2000, and these are his tales. Man, sometimes I run my mouth a little too much. Sometimes hanging around friends can lead you into danger, and that's what happened to me. It all started on a Friday night. I was over there chilling with a couple of my friends, just venting about how life was going. Apparently for them, life was not looking good, but for me, I was leaving the hood soon, getting ready to move to the West Coast, start a whole new life for my girl. But I had no funds. My girl was funding everything. I didn't feel like much of a man at the moment, so I would do anything just to get a little bit of money. After sitting there having a couple of drinks, they start plotting about a robbery. This could be the quickest and the easiest money I ever made. Buddy told me it was 60 grand that's in this spot at one time. There's 3 of us, so we could split that 3 ways. Man, I needed that money. But at the same time, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't built that way. I wasn't like these two. These dudes done been to jail already. They got a rep in the hood. Me, I was just a ball player. But I didn't want to look weak in front of them. I didn't want to look soft. So I said, yo, let's do it. Now, me thinking in my mind that this would get pushed back so far that I wouldn't even have a chance to even help them, that I'd be gone by then. But then one of them just said, yo, let's do it tonight. My heart started beating real fast and I started sweating, but I agreed to do it. The worst decision I could ever made. We had no plan. This was just 3 broke guys drunk, venting. But we got in the car and we went to this check cashing place. Rico made me the lookout. I sat in the car and my only job was just to call if I saw somebody. Seemed easy enough, but man, I was nervous, sweating like crazy. Rico and Alex, they seemed like this was a regular Wednesday to them or something. So I watched them go in as I sat in the car smoking cigarette after cigarette. I couldn't help it. I didn't know what to do. Apparently some old lady was watching the whole thing from her window. She called the police and they rushed down. I froze in the moment. I was supposed to make that call, but I didn't. I watched Rico come out surrounded by cops. They quickly gunned him down. Alex tried to run towards me. I saw his face and they gunned him down too. I sat there watching their bodies just hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. I quickly made a U-turn and left, pretending like I wasn't a part of it. But the guilt instantly killed me. I went home to my girl. She asked me, baby, what's wrong? I told her I did something bad. I did something real bad. But before I could respond, the house phone started ringing. I walked towards the phone and picked it up. Hello? Hello? Nobody was on the other end. All the sound was this crackling noise like a fire. Then I heard some muffling sounds. Then the call went dead. I looked at my girl and she looked back at me. And she said, baby, what did you do? Before I could respond, the phone rang again. I picked it up and I said, hello? Hello? And once again, all I heard was this fire crackling sound. And then somebody say my name. It sounded like Alex, but I said, no way. Just watch Alex get shot right in front of me. I paused for a second. Then I asked, man, who is this? Who playing on my phone? Then the line went dead. My girl looked at me, and I looked back at her. But once again, before I could respond, I started hearing knocks on the door. And they sounded real angry. She was like, baby, who is that? I just knew it was the cops. I figured they must have found out I was part of that robbery. I was waiting on them to kick in the door at any moment. But nobody came. And then the knocking just stopped on its own. I tried to creep over and look out the window to see if I could see somebody. And that's when I saw 2 people standing off in the distance, like statues. They looked like Rico and Alex, but I really couldn't tell from this distance. But I sure wasn't going outside to find out. The smoke alarm seemed to go off in the house out of nowhere. I quickly ran inside to see if there was a fire, but there was no fire in there. The phone started back ringing. My girl started yelling at me, screaming, "It's all your fault. What did you do?" I said, "Baby, chill." Then the knocks on the door started back again as the phone was ringing. I put my hands over my ears because I couldn't take all the noise. I felt like the room was spinning. I dropped down to my knees and all I could hear is my girl calling me a coward. 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 I let out a scream, and as I opened my eyes, she was gone. My girl was no longer there. There was no phone calls. There was nobody knocking at the door. I stood back up to my feet. As I looked around, I saw a piece of paper laying on the ground. It had my picture on it. I kneeled down to pick it up, and I saw it was my obituary. I was in utter shock. I said, "I'm tripping." I couldn't help but read. It said I had got killed in a car accident fleeing the police. No, this ain't happening. I quickly dropped the paper. As my eyes started to water up, the front door flew open to the place, and I saw this creature standing in front, waiting on me, watching me. I wanted to run, but I was frozen in fear. It walked up close and it grabbed my arm. It felt like as soon as it touched me, my arm was on fire. Behind him, it just sounds like the minions of hell, the fire crackling. I could feel the heat on my body. He started pulling me towards the door, heading towards the exit. I said, "No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go." Suddenly, I just woke up in a cold sweat. Alex and Rico was both staring at me, talking about, "Yo, is you good?" He was over there talking in your sleep. I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Yo, so you gonna do this or what? We talking about taking this place tonight. Is you down?" I looked at both of them, and I couldn't even say anything. I thought it was in my head. I said, "It's all a dream." But then I felt this burning sensation on my arm from the spot where that thing grabbed me. I just stood up and walked out the room.